Hey everybody, Sujan Patel here from Mailshake. I got Dan Tyre, and a director from Hubspot. Dan, thank you for being here.
Boom! You and I, this little fact, you and I, how many common connections do we have on LinkedIn?
The exact numbers, we have 810 connections together.
Okay, that is insane. What are you, like my brother-in-law? How can two people, and we've met like 2 or 3 times, we met in San Diego, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. It was a big inbound conference, right? And we connected, we fist bumped. I'm a fist bump guy. I'm not
That's
really.
right. Yeah, your energy is awesome. I definitely vibe off the energy. I love how when you join the meeting.
Yeah.
So anyone who joins a meeting with Dan knows this. He joins, he's like, "Woo!"
I know,
got
that's
my
my
attention,
thing.
ready to go.
I'm a 60-year-old, I'm a 60-year-old millennial, right? I have an attention span of a gnat. I love video. If you do a call and not have video, like I can see you go Mailshake t-shirt. I can see that. Look how organized you are in the background, man. You got all those like
It's just for
clipboards.
show.
That is impressive. All right, but what are we talking about today? We're talking about sales meetings, right?
That's right. How to hold a productive sales meeting. Let's jump into it.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about the first thing really, because I think in order to be productive, you got to go through a certain amount of topics. So I guess like in your opinion, like what's the topics you go through?
So first of all, meetings suck, right? Does anybody like meetings? Right? There are certain meetings you like. Are there any meetings that you really like?
I love the team meetings. Getting
Ooh.
to hear from the team, because I talk a lot, and I want to hear from the team.
Yeah, me too. So the meetings for me are quick meetings, constructive meetings, and the last thing you want is somebody droning on and on about some ridiculous stuff that nobody cares about. So my meeting motto is all meat, no fluff. Just like this podcast, just like this webinar, right? We're going to go 10, 15 minutes, boom, 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 couple of jokes, then we're done, right? Because that's the way we live today, right? Sales meeting, same thing. You have an hour sales meeting, I'm going to be stroking my chin and saying, all right, what are you going to talk about for an hour, right? Unless it's your sales kickoff, like screw it, right? A sales meeting should be done, I don't know, what's the perfect length for you?
I would say 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, I keep it to 25, right? We're all busy, right? And unless there's something specific, right? When I say we have a 25-minute sales meeting, you're like, yeah, I got 5 minutes to check my email. That's just the dopamine in your brain, right? So for me, the shorter, the better. No fluff, all impactful. I always start with welcome and introductions, right? And if anybody is new or there's a presenter in there, right? I'm like, stand up. Who are you? How long you been at HubSpot? What's your favorite cheese? Or who's your favorite 80s metal hair band? Or where's the last country you traveled to? Just something that's a little weird to set the right tone, right? And then there are certain segments in the sales meeting we'll run through. Usually I have to get the pipeline out of the way, right? The pipeline is an interesting thing because it shows how the team is doing. It's a very impactful part of the sales team because I want everybody to know we're going to hit our number, we're going to exceed our number, or we got a little bit of delta. Right. And in that capacity, I put up the aggregate information. There's a listing of salespeople on the side, maybe their initials. Everybody knows who it is. Right. The goal isn't to try to shame anybody. It's like we win as a team. We lose it as a team. This is just where it is. In most sales organizations, you have good months, you have bad months. Let's not fret about it. Let's get everybody to a good month. But let's always know where you stand as an individual, where you stand as a team. Right. And then I'm going to ask. All right, is there anything I can do, if anybody in this room, to positively impact this result? Right, the biggest thing you do to run a sales team is be motivational and making sure that you are at their service. Because ostensibly, as a manager, you can help them get better results. Right, that should take you're 7 minutes in. Right, the next thing you're going to do is have 1, 2, or 3 things of note. No more than 3. Right? Because your sales team, their brain can't manage more than 3. And if there's more than 3, it's not that important. Just roll it to the next week. Right? Let's stay concise there. And then I'll have 5 or 7 minutes of learning a new skill. And people say, you need more than 7 minutes to learn a new skill. I go, no, you don't. Right? You need 7 minutes to explain the business value, what's going on, how you learn more, and these are the 3 main takeaways. Right? You can even do a quick battle card about those specifics. And the idea is you're getting a lot of information quick and easy. Then the last thing we do is like a football team. Are you a football fan? Do you know how
No,
they?
but I'll fist bump you.
Okay, you go in and then you go boom. You have something at the end where you're all on the team. Let's get this bread. Let's go for it. Let's finish strong. Something like that. Even if you're not like Dan Tyre, big energy, you can use your energy. You're kind of like a college professor. You're like, you don't have the big like jumping up and down kind of stuff, but you're like, no, let's go out and let's hit our 118%. And in your personality, right, it will work out great.
Love it. I'm normally the loud one. I'm normally the Dan in the rooms with the
No
high
way!
excitement.
I love it.
We can't both be that in this interview. It won't work out. We won't get anything done. But that's awesome. 25 minutes. That is productive as F.
Come on. These hour meetings, they're a holdover from the 1980s, and they sucked back then. They're even worse now. You do not have an hour. You cycled in like 10 minutes ago, like, we're going to do a 15-minute podcast. I'm like, yeah. I'm already liking you, not only because we have 9 million connections, but also because now I'm thinking, okay, I can get back to all the stuff that I'm really supposed to do. And your sales team will be like that. Oh, one other keynote. You don't have 25 minutes worth of stuff. You got two choices. Number one, cancel the meeting, and they'll carry you around like Caesar, right? That will be awesome. Or you show up and you're like, all right, this is going to be a 10-minute meeting.
Nice.
I prefer to do the former rather than the latter. Who needs a 10-minute meeting? You're better off canceling it. Oh, one other thing, lots of people work remote. Do you have remote people on your team?
All of them.
Okay, so you're getting on Zoom. You start right on time, right? You have somebody take notes, and you have somebody archive for the people who are online. And if they, just like we did here, if they want to say something, they put it in the chat pane. I got a question. I want to talk. Right? And you're hyper vigilant about including the people that are on Zoom to make sure that they feel part of the
team.
Exactly.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Oh, that is really productive.
Yeah, I know.
7 things. I'm gonna go dig into this. We're gonna make our meetings in half now. So next thing, how do you prepare for the meetings in advance?
So there's an hour of preparation. There's an hour of preparation, even if you have a continual agenda for a 25-minute meeting, right? So I like to have themes, right? My theme today is Halloween, surprise, surprise, right? Or whatever, right? Early in the month, later in the month, it doesn't matter. Number 2, I'm big into delegation, right? I can give the meeting, and they've heard me 4 million times, right? What I prefer is that other people get an opportunity to present, because it helps build the team. It gives them responsibility, and then I don't have to do it. So I'm going to give somebody the review of the pipeline, and I'll go over it with them, right? But they need to have the slide the night before. I'm like, all right, what do you see on the slide? What are you going to say? What are your 3 points? Boom, boom, boom. Great. You're ready to deliver, right? And then I delegate my education portion. I'm like, all right, let's queue them up, right? I have a spreadsheet of all the things we want to talk about. Sometimes we adjust it, but I'm going to pick somebody else in the team. If you got more than, 4 people on the team, somebody else should take that educational part. And then sometimes I'll even delegate the theme. What's the theme, right? And we got lots of creative people here at Hubspot who come up with some really weird stuff, right? Sometimes we do it in our pajamas. Have you ever done a sales meeting in your pajamas?
No.
All right, put that on November. Okay, do you have, we should be dressed in bananas right now because it is Halloween, right? You have to have costume ones. Bring your dog to the sales meeting. Ruff. That's awesome. If you don't have a dog, got to rent a dog. I think there's rented dog services. And you just want to keep it loose. You want to keep it fun. The goal of the meeting is to get these people motivated, give them a little information, right? But they should stream out of there going, okay, I'm not going to forget that meeting, right? Everybody had their dog. And then you're you've accomplished your goal.
Love it. That is awesome. How often do you guys meet? Like daily?
So
Weekly?
they usually, if we're on a stress period, we'll do a daily stand-up, but it'll be a 10-minute meeting. Usually it's on Monday, right, where I'll try to get them at 8 o'clock in the morning. If they're all remote, right, sometimes there's a little bit of time difference. Right. But I want to get them right at the beginning. Number 1, if they're not awake, I want to make sure they're awake after that 25 minutes. Number 2, I want to make sure that they're focused, right? They understand what needs to be done, right? So somebody in that meeting is going to be taking notes, and then afterwards I'll circulate or have that person circulate the notes, or even more important, put it on a wiki. One other thing that I should add, important component after welcome and introductions is review from last week. right? So you do welcome, introduction, and is there any like hanging chads from last week? And if there's anything that's archived, that continuity is super important. That means that like somebody's paying attention, that it's not going to be slipped under the rug, and it's going to be a valuable use of their time.
Well, and in those like kind of recaps or kind of bringing those things back up, are those maybe topics that got kind of shelved for later, and then like those would be the topics potentially? Is that how it could work?
It's awesome, right? You always end in Q&A, but I'm pretty like hardcore about my 25 minutes, right? And if it's a great question that's timely, I'm like, okay, we'll take 2 minutes to answer that now. Or I'll say, that's a great question. Let me record a video and send it out to the team. Or I'll say, all right, is that bothering other people? Is that a big deal for everybody? If it is, I'll take the extra 5 minutes. I still have 5 minutes because I planned it, right? If not, I'm like, okay, if this is important but not timely, let's move that to next week. All right, Sujan, why don't you take that one, research it, present the problem, present the proposed solution, and we'll start off next week with that bullet. You see what I just did there? I know. Yeah. Number one, we say that's important. Number two, we're working on priorities. Number three, we're like, okay, that is good, but we're not going to deal with it right now. Go out and sell something.
Yeah. Well, also you made me solve the problem too, right? Like, and present my solution.
Okay. That is the 1 minute manager, right? The other, I like, the 1 minute manager?
Yeah.
Okay. A classic book takes you it's like 90 pages, right? It's that if you're not delegating effectively to people in your team, you're not doing it right. You're not doing them any service. You're not doing yourself any service. So you got to make sure that you empower your folks. You know what? I'm coming to you for all that kind of stuff. It's a good question. Go figure it out, Susan. You're a smart guy. You'll figure it out, right? Then they're like, what do you mean figure it out? I'm like, if you need help, let me know. If you don't have good problem discovery, I'm happy to help you. But I think that you can figure it out, define the problem, define the solution, and then 5 minutes, top of the hour next week to give it to everybody.
I love it. Yeah, you don't take the whole meeting to try to solve that problem because all you're doing is thinking out loud, and that doesn't help anybody.
So a meeting is like it's like a stand-up comedy routine. They call it a tight 10, right? Have you ever done stand-up comedy?
No.
Okay.
I tried to. Not very funny. I'm a funny person in a small group. No.
It was a bad crowd, right? They were too drunk. They didn't understand your nuanced humor. But you want to get your best jokes in 10 minutes, so they stop. Same thing with a sales meeting. Or if you're a rock and roll band, you play any musical instruments?
No.
Okay.
But I get it. I get what you're saying.
All right. I'm a bass player. And like you get all your greatest hits out in the first 20 minutes and it's boom, 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 boom. It's tight. You go from one song to that. These meandering kind of things, right? Unless you're the Grateful Dead or the Allman Brothers. Do those names mean anything to you?
Grateful Dead, yes. You saw the blank stare in my face.
I know. None of the millennials have any idea what we're talking about. They're like, oh, that's my grandfather listens to that one. No, I'm like any of these jam bands, like they went on forever. That was their thing. But like Green Day has 3-minute songs. Why? Because people want to listen to 3-minute songs. Arctic Monkeys, same thing like that. Boom, boom. Your sales meeting has to be like that. It has to be tight. That's the other thing. I always use music. The theme song for the week is, right? Get a little Jay-Z going on there. Get a little Beyonce, right? Let's go for, I was using Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen. You ever hear that tune?
Yeah.
It's like 12 years old. I'm like, okay, let's go to, somehow I missed that. I was like 4 years old and not listening to pop. But then we have the theme of the week, right? That is awesome. That like supports the fun portion.
Love it. Awesome. And there's a couple of things we talked about before, like you don't do, like the no's. What are those?
So don't go over 30 minutes, right? No sarcasm, no belittling. It's all a team effort, right? If those guys or women don't leave the sales meeting totally pumped, like thinking you're pretty funny, right? Then it wasn't a good meeting, right? And if you're not funny, like find somebody who can be funny. You have to be impactful. You have to add value. You have to make sure that it's all like ready to go. And if you do that, you'll be highly successful.
Love it. Awesome. Thanks, Dan. This has been super jam-packed with information. Hilarious. And I think you made that 10-minute mark too. So thank you.
I love it. All right. I'm all in to try to help you and your tribe. Make sure they run better sales meetings. If anybody has questions, dantyre.com or dtyre@hubspot.com. Happy to help.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. You're the man.